Hello everyone and welcome to this shorter sequence of Yin Yoga for the hips and the lower back. We'll begin this routine with folded butterfly, so you can sit onto your mat. If you want to make this pose a little bit easier, you can elevate your hips by sitting onto a yoga block or a pillow. Then bring the soles of your feet together. You can choose whatever distance between your feet and pelvis feels best for you. The closer you bring your feet to your body, the more intense this pose will feel. And don't force your knees down here, just let them be. If your spine allows you to, you can start to fold forward, rounding your back and then dropping your nose towards the ground. We'll stay here for 2 minutes, gently opening up the groin and stretching through your lower back. Remember to stay at just 80% of your capacity. Don't force anything. With time, your body might open up a little bit and invite you to go a little bit deeper. But for now, just focus on your breath. Focus on the sensations that you feel within your body. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out of the pose. Take about 3 more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, you can bring your fingertips back to the floor. Slowly push yourself back up into a straight spine. From here, we'll send our left leg out long in front of us and bring the sole of the right foot in towards this left thigh. Coming into a half butterfly now. Inhale to reach your hands up, rotate towards this outstretched leg, and then fold forward as if you're trying to bring your nose towards your knee, but not forcing anything. Finding all of these new sensations now within your lower back, maybe through the right side of it. Also opening up this left hamstring, which will help to release tension from your back and from your hips. Staying here for 2 minutes in total. If you need to support your right knee, you can place a cushion or a yoga block in underneath it. Let's take a moment to check in on the shoulders, making sure you're not holding tension there, and that your jaw is relaxed, Your facial muscles are soft. If your mind has wandered off, that's okay. Just take it back here now to your breath, to your body. When you're ready to release the pose, you can once again push yourself away from the floor, slowly coming back up. And we'll transition to the opposite side now. So the right leg will stretch out, left foot comes in towards this thigh. Inhale to reach up, and as you exhale, fold over your right leg. Finding all of the sensations that come with this side of the pose. Finding your breath. And we'll stay here for 2 minutes. Here in this pose, you might receive invitations to go a little bit deeper. And if that's the case, you might fold a little bit more into the pose. Using each exhale to help you get that little bit deeper. Time for us to slowly come out of the pose. Eventually making your way back to center. And we'll release with some windshield wipers. So you can lean back on your hands, bend your knees and have your feet about mat width distance apart. And then you're slowly dropping your knees from side to side. And feel free to pause. If it feels nice, you might be able to release tension from your hips and lower back as we go through these wipers. And if you want to release your shoulders, you can very gently lift your hips into the air, slowly dropping your head back. And we'll repeat this hammock pose a few more times if it feels good. And when you're ready to come into your next pose, we're going to do swan pose. So you can bring yourself to all fours. From here, your right knee will come in front of you. Flex your right foot and then bring that right knee down onto the mat. You might want to go a little bit deeper by walking your left knee back if that feels good. Keep your hips square to the front of your mat here, so don't sit over onto this right hip. And if it's feeling good for your right knee, you can start to slowly come down onto your forearms, keeping your weight in your hips. Now here we're in sleeping swan, and we'll stay here for 2 minutes. Again, a really nice pose to open up through the glutes, also stretching your spine. You can rest your head down onto your hands or onto the mat or even onto a yoga block or cushion if you have one. We'll keep a little bit of activity within our bodies here. So imagine that you're trying to pull your feet together. Just creating a little bit of activity, not too much tension. Keep your right foot flexed. That will help to protect your right knee. And gently press the top of your back foot into the mat. Tapping into all of these sensations within your body, using them as anchors for your mind to keep yourself here on your yoga mat. Find your breath and just softly bring your concentration to it, observing it flow in and out of your body. Take 3 more full breaths. Now you can start to push the floor away from you, preparing to step back into downward facing dog. We'll bring our back toes onto the mat, lift this back knee, and then slowly step your right foot back. Drag your hips up and back into the air. Feet can be about hip width distance apart. And from here, we'll just paddle the feet, bending the knees and releasing any tension from the hips. We'll take a nice deep spinal stretch here by bending the knees slightly. Try to push your heels towards the mat, but it's okay if they don't make it. Point your tailbone up towards the sky and then drop your head towards the mat so your ears might come in line with your biceps. Keep pushing yourself away from your hands so you can really stretch through your back. And take a nice big breath in and out. When you're ready, you can drop both knees back down onto your mat. And then we're going to repeat sleeping swan by stepping our left knee in front of us, flexing the left foot. Knee can find its spot on the mat. It doesn't really matter where it is. Back knee might walk back slightly. Hips are square to the front of the mat. And if you're coming down onto your forearms, keep your weight into your hips and set yourself up for your version of sleeping swan. Remembering to keep that activity within your body. Back foot gently pressing into the mat. Front foot is flexed. And you're ever so slightly magnetizing your feet towards each other. Holding here for 2 minutes. Focusing on your breath and on your body. Taking your last 3 breaths for this pose. And when you're ready, you can start to slowly transition back into downward facing dog. Doing whatever you need to do here to release your hips and your back. Taking that spinal stretch again if it feels good for you. And when you're ready, both knees can find the mat again. From here, we'll come to lie on the front of the body. And we'll set ourselves up for sphinx pose. So the feet are about mat width distance apart. Forearms can come onto the mat in front of you. Now measure the distance between your elbows by clasping your elbows with opposite hands, and then bring the hands back down onto the mat in front of you. To make this pose less intense, you can slide your elbows further away, gazing straight out in front, or you can look down towards your mat. We'll hold here in Sphinx pose for 2 minutes. Feeling that compression within your lower back. Massaging all your belly organs. And getting a nice deep stretch for your spine. Connect to your breath. Connect to your body. And just observe the stillness and the silence of this pose. And I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Take 3 more full breaths. And now you can start to slowly guide your full body back down onto the mat, finding crocodile pose by making a pillow with your hands, resting your head onto your pillow. Bring your big toes together and let your heels drop towards the edges of your mat. And just allow your body to relax here, digesting all of the poses that we've done so far. Now our final pose for this sequence is child's pose. So when you're ready, you can start to slowly drag your hips back onto your heels. If this feels too uncomfortable, you can place a cushion or yoga block in between your hips and your heels. We'll keep our knees together if we can. That's going to help us to round the back again after we've been arching it in sphinx pose. Hands can come to rest next to the feet, palms facing up, and then your forehead can come to the mat. If the forehead doesn't make it, then you can bring your hands in underneath, or you can place a cushion or a yoga block there. Relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. Allow your breath and gravity to do all of the work here. We'll stay here for 2 minutes. For your last few breaths here, really breathe into your lower back. See if you can get that breath down into your hips, helping to release any blockages. When you're ready to come out of child's pose, you can bring your fingertips back to the mat. Use a breath in to push yourself up. And you can sit whatever way is most comfortable for you to sit on your mat. We'll end the sequence by giving ourselves just a minute to let the body digest all the benefits of the poses that we've done. So sit comfortably, perhaps close your eyes, lengthen your spine and tuck your chin slightly towards your chest. Find your breath and just sit with all of this new energy that you've created. We'll take 3 more breaths together. When you're ready, you can open up the eyes again. Of course, you can stay for longer sitting on your yoga mat, but we will officially end the sequence here. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this routine. If you did, please leave this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. That really supports me in creating these videos. And if you are interested in doing full-length yoga classes, you can do that inside of my YouTube membership. You can gain access to all of those videos along with lots of other bonus content by clicking the join button below this video. So I'll see you in the next practice. Until then, take good care and goodbye.